And what does health look like for you? And obviously, you're living the life right now.
Appreciate that. No, health is very important to me. I'd say for the first like 5 to 7 years of my first business, I threw everything into the business um, to the point that I wasn't working out. I wasn't doing the things I loved, whether that be skiing or running or swimming, or even being out in nature. So I've really spent a lot of time trying to find the balance between work and health and life and all the important things that need to balance. I found that as an entrepreneur, there is an element of grind in the early days of startup, and I'm feeling that even today, which is having gone back into the startup life. There is that need for that extra push in hours, but I also have the self recognition to know that if I overdo it, you can kind of fall the other way where it could cause burnout. You can get shorter, you can make worse decisions. So I'm always very aware of how to find that balance between putting in the hours, putting in the grind when you need to, but also finding time for balance. And I put in place a framework that I used for myself in terms of annual planning and making sure that I set very explicit time away for the things that I need. So as I mentioned, like the first 5 to 7 years of my career were a very big grind. I gave up skiing, which was my favorite thing. There was a year probably 11, 12 years ago where I said, you know what, I'm going to get 10 ski days in, and that's really important to me. And then after that, it was let's do a half marathon. And then after that, it was let's do a triathlon and escape from Alcatraz. And then after that, it became more sophisticated where I wanted to have goals for mindfulness, goals for physical health, goals for my social life and family life, in addition to my personal professional goals.
And are these goals, like you look at, for example, mindfulness, or you look at your fitness type goals, are they set as a daily goal or weekly goal? How are you setting that?
So I do look at it very similar to how I would set objectives or company planning, where I think I spent a lot of time before the holiday. I spent a lot of time during the holiday reflecting on the goals that I want to set for the next year. And I break them down into quarterly objectives, biweekly objectives, and really try to think about the way I can measure them and make them real. What I have found is that when I become too disciplined about the goals, and if I'm too metrics oriented, like at times I track everything, I have my vitals and I'll do blood draws and I'll have the Aura ring. And I think that having too much data, similar to in a business, it can overload you where you're obsessing with the data and not, yeah, there you go, and not thinking about really how you feel. So what I found in the goal setting, especially with my health and sleep and mindfulness, is to set objectives, but sometimes they're data driven and then sometimes they're totally not. So this year I actually have my health goals are to just like be outside in nature and hike whenever I can, like have the ability to just walk out the front door if I have an extra hour and go do anything in nature, instead of it being a very metrics oriented goal like run a marathon in less than X, or optimize my REM sleep cycles by Y.